Of course, Kell Brook came over here to America to take the title back home, but for this one, he has fluctuated in weight classes. I am just interested in how bad he wants to be a welterweight and establish himself as one of the best welterweights in the world today. It is going to be difficult moving back down to 147 pounds if he wants to hold on to that title, and in my opinion, he didn't do enough at welterweight before moving up anyway. For me, that is what this fight is about. In my opinion, there is so much going on at 147, but he had to go up 2 weights just to make a big fight happen. I just don't like coming off a big fight and a big loss, then taking this one back down at 147. The one thing I do like is he got out of the Golovkin fight before he suffered more damage, so it wasn't too severe, and as a fighter, seeing them back in the ring is great. But it's just hard for me to be confident with Kell Brook because, to me, he hasn't proved it. We will see what he's got. Those are the words of Keith one-time Thurman, the unified welterweight world champion, talking about his rival Kell Brook. He is not convinced that Brook has proven himself to be one of the top welterweights. Brook has got a win over Sean Porter, whereas Keith Thurman has got a win over Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. So I guess Keith Thurman sees himself as more legitimate as a champion than Kell Brook. Some people would say Keith Thurman's victory over Sean Porter wasn't as convincing as Kell Brook's victory over Sean Porter. So it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. You could argue all day about who is a more legitimate champion based on the fact that Keith Thurman has got more high-level wins, but the one high-level win that Kell Brook does have was more convincing against the same opponent. Is this just posturing here from Keith Thurman? Is he maybe a little bit resentful of the fact that Kell Brook is seen in some quarters as the #1 welterweight? Is he hoping that Kell Brook gets defeated by Errol Spence? Or maybe he's hoping that Kell Brook actually beats Errol Spence? Stylistically, who would be a more difficult fight for Keith Thurman? Kell Brook or Errol Spence? I'm not really sure about that. Errol Spence has been gunning for Keith Thurman for some time, and Thurman hasn't yet seemed too keen on talking about fighting him. So let me know what you think about Keith Thurman's comments here. He was speaking to Sky Sports, by the way. Let me know what you think about his comments here on Kell Brook. Brook moving down, back down to welterweight to make the fight happen. He says that's, kind of shaky ground for him in terms of how he thinks Kell Brook is going to do here. But yeah, just let me know what you think about all the points that Keith Thurman raised and my views on it. It's happening. I'm out.